Hey everybody, welcome back to Carnivore Quest. Larry here. I feel like I'm 8 years old and it's Christmas Day. It's the morning of August 22nd and I've decided to break my 30-day water fast. Right now we're headed to Food Line. I'll be in here just for 1 second. There's only one thing I need to pick up to break my fast, and when we get back to the house I'll go over why I broke my fast, my weight loss results, and everything I've been going through. Anyway, all I need in here today is some chicken thighs to make some bone broth. These are actually $2 a pound. I actually decided to get these chicken leg quarters that were half the price for double the meat, and I'm not going to be eating the meat. Most of the meat will probably go to the dogs. I can't have any solid food for about 3 days, and Cassie's doing the BBB challenge, so dogs will be happy. Well, you don't get a simpler shopping haul than that, right? After 21 days of not eating, guys, I can't wait for this chicken bone broth. Let's get back to the house, fire it up. Back at the house, gang, I'm not wasting any time. I already got these chicken quarters and a cast iron, and we're gonna make some delicious chicken broth. I'm gonna add some water here, about 3 cups, and we're gonna salt this very generously. Get it real salty. It's gonna be so good. My mouth, even right now, you guys, is watering. Oh, it's gonna be delicious. So I'm gonna pop this in a 375-degree oven for about 1 hour and 20, and then we'll be good to go. So originally I was going to break my 30-day fast with beef bone broth, but that takes about 2 days to make, and man, I don't have that kind of time. I'm ready for some nutrition right now, and technically this is not chicken bone broth, it's just chicken broth. It's basically fat and water, but man, it's going to be delicious and I can't wait. Once it's done, I'm going to sit down, give you guys a full update, what's going on with my body, my weight loss, and how my tinnitus is doing. But first, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, Elements. Element's a delicious electrolyte drink mix that comes in these convenient single serving packets. It doesn't matter if you're on a carnivore diet or a ketogenic diet, keeping up with your daily electrolytes is extremely important. Let me tell you, if Cassie and I don't keep up with our electrolytes eating a carnivore diet, we suffer from headache, fatigue, and definitely major leg cramps. And Element offers a ton of great flavors. This month for a BBB challenge, Cassie ordered some grapefruit salt, which we call carnivore lemonade. I ordered 2 boxes of the raw unflavored for my 30-day water fast. I took 2 packets a day, and for the last 21 days, this is all I've consumed. And other than being hungry, Element kept me hydrated and feeling great. Cass wasn't thrilled when she heard we could only have water when we first started carnivore, but Element changed everything, because with all their great flavors, it definitely added a new dimension to our carnivore diet. As always, Element's offering our viewers a free sample pack with any order. That's 8 free single serving packets with any Element order. This is a great way to try 8 of Element's delicious flavors before your next order. You can have Element delivered right to your home using our link below at drinkelement.com/carnivore quest. This is the perfect way for you guys to get the quality electrolytes you need and support our channel at the same time. So head on down to drinkelement.com/carnivore quest and get yours today. And any great product is only as good as the customer service that backs it up. Element is top notch. For any reason, if you're not 100% satisfied with the product, keep it and receive a full refund. Thanks again, Element, for sponsoring today's video. Oh my goodness, look at all this delicious broth. Oh, guys, my mouth, like I said, I'm probably gonna say it 10 times this video, is watering. I'm gonna take this chicken out. Cassie's on the BBB challenge, so this chicken will be going to the dogs. I'm gonna keep these skins, I'm gonna put them in a baggie, and I'm gonna fry them up probably in a couple days, and that'll be my first solid food I eat. But for now, I'm just gonna have the broth. So I'm gonna get in a cup. Oh, it's gotta cool off for a few, and I'm gonna enjoy it. All right, this broth has cooled down quite a bit. I actually filled this cup and this cup. They're gonna go in the refrigerator for the next couple days. And oh, Got this one right here, all ready to go. Oh, I can't wait. Let's sit down and give you guys a rundown on what's been going on this 21-day water fast. I can't tell you guys how excited I am to be putting this to my lips. After 3 weeks of nothing to eat, this little bit of fat and water is going to be absolutely delicious. So let's go for it. Oh, absolutely amazing. Oh, just this warmth. I can just feel it going down, you know. There's about a cup of chicken broth in here, and this is all I will have all day long. When I did that 14-day fast last year, I definitely overdid it when I broke my fast. I had a cup of this chicken broth, and I also had some egg drop soup a little while later in the day, and it felt like I was absolutely stuffed. It was very little food, but I definitely overdid it. I didn't physically feel bad other than I felt nauseated. Like, you know, you had sat down and ate way too much at a Thanksgiving dinner. That's exactly how I felt. So I know better. You know, I'm not going to have any of those chicken skins today. It's just going to be this broth, and broth tomorrow and maybe the third day. So I'll be, you know, just drinking liquid for the next 2 or 3 days. And then I will have some of those fried up chicken skins. And then we'll go from there and start adding in, you know, maybe a little ground beef. And, you know, we'll see. But I definitely learned my lesson about feeding too quickly. Now, I know I wasn't in any danger of refeeding syndrome. For those of you that don't know what that is, it can be very dangerous. You know, in World War II, when the Allies liberated the concentration camps, over 25,000 Jewish prisoners died from refeeding syndrome because the GIs saw they were starving and they were giving them candy bars and different, you know, food they had on them because they felt bad for these people. Of course, you know, they were skin and bones. Well, 25,000 of them died. And that was because of the extreme insulin spike, you know, and of course the GIs had no idea. Actually, refeeding syndrome was unknown before that happened. So, you know, I won't be breaking my fast with a Snickers bar. So there's no, you know, there's no danger of me hurting myself that way. But you could definitely make your stomach feel uncomfortable because my stomach's been asleep basically for the last 2 weeks. You know, it pretty much shut down after a week of the fast. And now it's, you know, it's been sleeping for a while. But, you know, I thought about it. People in the carnivore space often talk about our ancestors, you know, the hunter-gatherers. You know, that's all they ate was meat and some seasonal fruit maybe. But if one of those hunter-gatherers couldn't find food for 3 or 4 weeks, and all of a sudden, you know, he was able to kill an animal, would he just have a little bit and worry about his stomach? No. He would gorge himself on fat and protein until he was full. So I really didn't think there was, you know, any harm to my body for overeating, but let me tell you, you can get an upset stomach really quick. Nausea, and I want to avoid that. So why did I break the fast on day 22? Basically, hunger. You know, I experienced some serious hunger off and on up until day 17. But day 17, you know, the hunger kicked in and it did not subside. Day 17 and 18, I was just consumed with it. Well, so far, day 18 on this 30-day water fast has been absolutely the hardest day I've had so far. Brutal. I'm telling you, I've never experienced hunger like this in my entire life. It's hard to even describe, really. It's really hard to put into words. So, yeah, for a lot of people, yeah, hunger disappears, you know, after day 7, day 8, you're good. No. My stomach, there's this really dull hunger. It's not like my stomach's growling or anything, but combined with that dull hunger in your stomach and then your mind. It's all a mind game. My mind, you know, keeps constantly saying, you know, maybe this fast isn't good for you, you know, maybe you should break the fast. Just all kinds of mental gymnastics trying to talk myself into eating, you know. So, anyway, day 18. On day 19, I woke up absolutely no hunger, which was cool. Big relief. after the previous 2 days. And I sat down and I recorded that reaction video to that vegan's 30-day fasting video showing the 5 stages of healing. If you guys haven't seen that video, it's really interesting. I'll put the card up here. After I recorded that video that evening, it was early evening, maybe around 2-3 o'clock p.m., the hunger returned. And that same brutal gnawing hunger. Day 20, boom, hunger's still there. I wake up, first thing I think of, as soon as I open my eyes, I can't eat today and I'm hungry. That lasted all day long. Day 21, yesterday, same thing. I woke up, I was just like, yeah, it was wearing on me. And I told Cassie by the end of the day last night, I think I'm done. I think I'm going to break my fast tomorrow. That was around 9 p.m. and I wasn't going to, run all the way over to Walmart to get some chicken because we didn't have any in the fridge because Cassie's on the BBBE challenge. So there's no way to make a quick, broth that I could enjoy. And, I just knew. I knew I was done. So that's 4.5 days out of 5 that I had that brutal, intense hunger. I really didn't expect that because up until that point, yeah, you'd have a day where you're really hungry, but if you fought through it, right, the following day it would be completely gone and it would stay gone all day, even for 2 or 3 days. And that's what I experienced between days, 7 and 15, 16. The hunger, would come, but then it would go and you'd be fine. But it got to the point where it was constant. And this morning, Cassie had to go into work unusually early. She had to be there at 7 a.m. So she was up at like 5 in the morning. I was still sleeping. I got up, I gave her a call. I said, yeah, I'm gonna break the fast. And she's like, honey, that's fine. She was kind of relieved. I said, yeah, 21 full days. And she said, no, honey. She's like, you haven't eaten in 3 weeks. Think about that. And when she said that, it kind of clicked for me, 3 weeks with no food, that was good enough for me. So that's why I broke the fast, guys. I wasn't feeling bad at all, weak, shaky. It was just that intense hunger and I was just done with it. I was kind of getting angry. I was like, this is silly. But I got other results to share with you that I'm really happy about. Next, I'll give you my weight loss. I lost 22 pounds in 21 days doing this fast. And it's interesting, when I did the 14-day fast, I lost 19 pounds. So, just a few more pounds for an extra 7 days. I don't know why, but I'm happy with that. All my inflammation is gone. I mean, I had gained some weight there the past couple months, with all the cream, all the dairy. I never ate off plan, but I was doing things I knew were optimal, and it kind of became a habit, especially with those lattes. I didn't do this for weight loss, but I am happy with that. I'll gain a little back, but the last time I did the 14-day fast, as soon as Cassie and I, broke our fast, she started doing recipes and I started consuming cheese. I am not going to do that this time. No cheese. I'm not going to have any. I'm actually going to finish out the month once I start eating solid food, doing the BBB challenge with Cassie and a lot of you. Keep me in line. At least until next month anyway. Real quick, I want to go over some things I did not expect during this fast that absolutely blew me away. Okay, the first one was I was absolutely freezing. Now, I didn't expect this, even though I went back and I watched our older content when I did the 14-day fast, and I mentioned it then too, but I had forgotten about it. When your digestive system shuts down, it actually generates a lot of heat. When your digestive system is awake and running, and when it shuts down, your core temperature drops quite a bit. I usually sleep in my boxers with a sheet on me. I've had 3 thick blankets on me for the past probably 9 days and still cold under the covers. So if you're gonna do a long fast, summertime's the time to do it, right? I'm telling you, you are freezing. It's this deep, deep cold, and it's actually quite fascinating, once that shuts down, that heat source is no longer there and you really feel it. So I thought that was interesting. And another thing, I don't want you guys to think I'm gross, but I'm gonna talk about, my number 2 right now. I pretty much, stopped going number 2. It's around day 7, day 8, somewhere in there. And, previous fast, 14 days, I didn't go number 2 anymore until I broke the fast. What was really interesting is on day 17, I actually had a bowel movement. And they were almost like little rabbit pellets, not too much detail. But as far as the volume goes, it was about as much as, like, say, a tennis ball, like sitting at the bottom of the toilet. So to me, that was quite a bit of stool, for not eating for so long. And, I attributed that to the lining of my colon. You get fecal matter that's caked on there. And I did a bunch of reading on this, and finally it breaks loose and then comes out. So I thought that was the end of it, right? Well, check this out. Day 20, which wasn't that long ago, I got up in the morning and I had another bowel movement, and it was probably 4 times as much. Like I said, that first one on day 17, little rabbit pellets. This one was like mud, and it smelled horrible. There was a ton of it. So I think that first one was the fecal matter, lining my colon, starting to break free and come out. But on day 20, when that stuff flushed, I think, that was like a big rinse for my system, which I feel really good about. But I was totally shocked by that, to have that big a bowel movement 20 days after not eating. But I'm happy because everything I've read is that's really good for you. If you can, break that stuff off your colon wall. A lot of people do cleanses just for that, to get that fecal matter out of your colon. Well, let me tell you, my friend, just don't eat for 20 days and it'll happen. But it was astonishingly stinky. Energy levels during the entire 21-day fast, pretty good for the most part. Whenever I would exert myself, like cleaning the garage, I could only go maybe 2.5 hours, and I'd get really exhausted. I'd have to take a break. So I definitely would say, like, don't attempt a long fast. If you have a real physical job, I think that would be really tough. Maybe not so bad if you're in really good physical condition, which I'm not. Yeah, I definitely noticed my gas tank would go empty really quickly. Another thing is the insomnia. The worst insomnia you could imagine. Just laying in bed at night, your eyes open, thoughts racing. So if you're gonna do a long fast, definitely expect that. I've talked to a lot of people this last month who actually gave up on their fast because of the insomnia. It's intense. Like, I started checking my ketones after around day 16, because I had ordered some from Amazon. The strips came, and my ketones range from anywhere from like 4.5 all the way up to 6.0. My ketones were always high, and my blood sugar, basically, I think the lowest it got was 59, and I think the highest was around 73. If my ketones were higher, my blood sugar was lower, which is normal. Before I give you this last bit of news, I want to thank every single one of you for all of your support, your love, messages, emails, and prayers, because this is really exciting. Day 20, right after I had that huge bowel movement, I was talking to Cassie and I was telling her about it. And, I was kind of excited, surprised, but excited that happened, because I had read It's So Healthy For You. And she asked me how my ear was, my tinnitus. And I didn't even think about it. Didn't even dawn on me when I woke up. Guys, it's completely gone. Right now I'm sitting here talking to you, and there is no ringing in my right ear, none at all. And I actually don't know when it stopped ringing. It could have been on day 19, 20. I think I would have noticed it though. So that's the entire reason I did this fast. And when I told her, my gosh, honey, it's not ringing right now, I got a little emotional, because I've been dealing with that my whole adult life. And this is the first time ever it's been gone. Now, is it because of the fast? It's possible. But Cassie and I also discussed it could be because I cut out coffee during this fast. I didn't want any calories at all coming into my body during this fast. When I did the 14-day fast, I had black coffee in the morning. Well, black coffee has anywhere from 3 to 5 calories per cup. In all the research I did, any calories, even 1 calorie, will take you out of autophagy. Now, if you're just fasting for weight loss, not a big deal. But if you're doing a fast for healing, you can't have any calories, zero. And I figured, if I'm going through all this pain and suffering, I want to make sure that, I do it right. And that's why I cut out the coffee. So a lot of people, told me that their tinnitus got better, cleared up when they quit coffee. I've gotten a lot of comments just in the last 3 weeks. And the last time I reported on my tinnitus, I said it was about 50% better, right? I think that was like my day 11 update. And now it's completely gone. So I'm going to finish out the month without any coffee. But, I wish I knew for sure if it was the lack of coffee or the fast or maybe a combination of both. But all I know is as I'm sitting here talking to you right now, I have relief. And I'm really jazzed about that. And once I realized it was gone, that played into me breaking the fast too. I'm getting hammered with this hunger that won't go away. And then, what I set out to do, what I set out to heal actually happened. So I was like, well, why am I going through this if, it's gone. So I'm so jazzed about that. And, Cassie's really happy. I'm getting some nutrition back in my body. All right, speaking of which, let me get one more here. Oh. Oh, rinse it around in my mouth. What am I going to eat for my first meal? I don't know. I have no idea. I know I'm going to have some of those fried chicken skins, just some fat. But my first real meal, I think maybe a ribeye. We'll see. I know this, I won't be able to eat like a full meal for quite a while because your stomach really shrinks during a fast. But anyway, back to my tinnitus. I'm just, I couldn't be happier. It's been a long, long time I've been dealing with this ringing. Now, I do want to say I probably have 60% hearing loss, and that's still, it's still the same. So, yeah, a 21-day fast isn't going to cure my hearing. Never know, right? I really hope I didn't disappoint anybody by not making it the 30 days. I believe that number would be very small in our audience. I know you guys care about my well-being. Most of you didn't want to see me hurt myself. And I listened to my body the entire time. If I ever felt like I wasn't feeling good, I would have broke the fast, But I feel really good about things. And, now I can say I went 3 weeks without food. I feel a lot of people in America, maybe not the world, because there are a lot of people who are starving, around the world. But a lot of people in America probably couldn't say that. I've gone 3 weeks without food. And I've experienced a type of hunger I had never experienced before, even on that 14-day fast. So, yeah, I finally threw in the towel though. It's like, that's it. And then when my tinnitus was, cleared up, I was like, wow, yeah, it's time to get some nutrition in my body. So again, thank you for all your prayers, well wishes, and all the love I've gotten over the last 21 days. It's meant the world to me. But I'm looking forward to getting back to regular content. I'm looking forward to eating again. That is for sure. Yeah, it's been rough watching Cassie enjoy her beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. And for all of you doing the challenge with her, all of you in our Facebook group, you guys are doing awesome. If you don't know about our Facebook group, look up Carnivore Quest Community on Facebook. It's private, got about 4,000 members, and every single person in there is awesome. If they're not, we boot them. Anyway, guys, I really appreciate you, and we'll see you in the next one, okay? Remember, no sugar, no carbs, and no cheating. Later.